All right, guys, I'm AOA, and this is AOA The Shed. Today we got DJ Strange.
What's up, neighbors?
Yes, sir. Take us back, man. What type of childhood did you have growing up?
Honestly, I was actually born in Lima, and then shortly after I was born, we moved to Indianapolis. So I actually grew up there the first 7 years of my life. And then back in November 2002, I moved back to Lima and went there. I went to Elida High School from third grade to my senior year.
Okay.
So,
what was it like out there? What was the do for fun? Did you guys play football? Were y'all big in football, big in sports, or y'all just kind of?
Where? At which place?
From third grade to.
Honestly, I haven't really been much into sports. Like the biggest sport like I've ever been into is like skateboarding. I love skateboarding, but I kind of did that in middle school, and then I broke my neck right before my senior year, or before my freshman year of high school. So I literally went into high school as the kid with the neck brace. Like I felt like Batman. Like, where is she?
Did you have both parents growing up?
I did until my parents actually split up, and that's why my mom and the rest of my siblings, we all moved back to Lima. But I mean, besides that, I mean, I have both my parents in my life, and I actually work for my dad. I actually have 3 jobs. I mow with him during the day. I'm at UPS at night, and then I DJ as well. So Thursdays I actually work all 3 jobs. So literally I'd mow up until I have to go to UPS. Then I literally have just enough time to go home, take care of my dogs, and shower and get ready to go DJ.
Heck yeah. Were you working as an early on or anything like that?
Actually, my first job, it was like an under the table. I actually worked at a computer shop when I was 15, and then I went to Vegas for this computer shop when I was 16, back in January 2011 for this CES, the Consumer Electronics Show. Mm-hmm. It was a lot of fun. I haven't been back to Vegas since. I obviously couldn't really do much being only 16, but it was a lot of fun overall.
Okay. So would you say that's when your work ethic started to come into play? Or did you do something early that would show that, oh, he's going to be a good worker?
I mean, that's kind of, since that being my first job, I've always been a go-getter. I don't like just sitting still. I got to constantly be doing something. If I sit still for too long, I'm going to sleep. And that's just because I don't sleep too much, except for when my body makes me, but
Okay.
Definitely more of a night owl.
Okay. Yeah, so that's why the DJing fits perfect.
Literally. I would say I have no complaints, but I just live tired.
Okay. So when did music become a part?
I actually I played trumpet from my 5th grade year to my senior year. So I was band geek, band nerd, whatever you want to call it. I love it though. I know how to read music, and I've been kind of teaching myself how to play piano over the last 9 years. This year actually makes it 10 years I've been DJing.
Nice.
And next year makes it 10 years I've been making beats. So I make my own beats.
So how old were you when you made your first beat?
You asked me too quick. I gotta do the math. So 10 years ago, I was 18 or I was 19, I think, because I'll be 29 in September. So
yeah. What was that like, your first experience making music?
I only even actually I'm gonna take it back a second, because when I first started DJing, I actually just made mashups. I took an acapella and an instrumental and mashed them together. Obviously you don't want to mess with the acapella, because otherwise that normal song that you're using would sound weird. So I just adjust whatever key of the beat that I'm trying to use and just match it with that acapella. And I always do that live. Typically, you take the acapella and an instrumental and throw it up on Logic or whatever DAW you're using and just match it up that way. But it's more fun live, honestly, because that's just a lot of some people think if you just throw on a playlist, press play, it's DJing. No. I actually don't even use turntables yet, which is almost embarrassing to say, just in the aspect of this being 10 years I've been DJing. But I didn't want to just buy a couple $100 set of turntables and then have to turn around and lose that money, essentially. I'll lose a little bit if I sold them. So I just wanted to go big or go home, which I always say go big, then go home. But like I said, I actually plan on having this 10-year anniversary party later this year called the We Can't All Be Winners party, because I have these shirts. It says we can't all be winners, but we could be neighbors. So I think you and Ohio got one.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I have a whole list of all the shirts I've ever sold, and I have I don't know the exact number. It's over 400 something.
Yeah,
so I have at least 400 people I can invite to this party. A lot of people are like, oh, if they don't have the shirt already, okay, you don't have a shirt. Because basically the admission into the party is the shirt. You wear the shirt in, you get in. You don't have one at the door, you can buy one at the door.
Yeah.
You don't want to buy one because they're $20 a shirt, but then pay $30 to get in. People are like, oh, no one's going to pay $30 to get in. Well, that's just going to force them to buy the shirt. Because I just want this party to be, you look around, everyone's wearing my shirt. I just think that'd be the coolest thing.
Okay.
So,
where'd you come up with that motto?
Well, I actually combine the two things. So, for one, I call everyone neighbor. It confuses everyone. They're like, you're my neighbor? I'm like, yeah, I moved in right next door. I'll see you at the barbecue. I'll play along. I actually started that. I've been neighboring people for almost 10 years because I used to work at this Verizon kiosk back in Lima and in the Lima Mall. So, I would just neighbor people. If I didn't know their name, we had the Buckle neighbors, the Lids neighbors, Rogers neighbors. I'd be like, what's up, neighbor? But then the we can't all be winners part, I always just used to say that phrase, oh, we can't all be winners. And now I can't even say that phrase by itself to people without them saying, oh, but we could be neighbors. It's almost annoying, but
Yeah.
I'm at a blank.
Oh no, you good. Now, so the mashup was your first introduction into.
Actually, that's actually the first shirt I've made. I have a little over 20 designs I've made so far, but that's the only one I've actually printed out and made.
Heck yeah.
But I actually I get my shirts made through this company in Lima. It's actually in Elida. It's at this little strip mall. It's called Donnelly's or something, but I've been making these shirts. April made it 2 years I've been selling them. And so many people have told me oh, I make shirts. It's not that I'm doubting anyone else's shirt making abilities. I'm just happy with the quality I'm getting and supporting local in that aspect. So it's a win-win for all.
That mashup was your first introduction to music?
Yes. Besides just being a music lover in general,
yeah.
I always liked for example, rap music. I love rap mainly because of the beats. That's what got me into wanting to make my own beats. Some of my favorite producers, we got Lennon on the track, DJ Mustard, David Guetta, even though that's a complete different style. I always loved his music. Metro Boomin.
So what were you thinking when you made your beat? Did it ever get used?
I only have one song that's on Apple Music or Spotify or anything. It's called Life in the Dark by King Frizzle. He's actually out of Detroit. It's on his Above Water CD, if I remember correctly. But besides that, I have actually an EP coming out. I don't have a date for the release date or anything yet because it's not finished, but it's with my one dude from Lima. His name's Tank Anthony. And it's a 7 or 8 song EP. But besides that, no one's actually really used my beats except for the one dude. I haven't really marketed enough, honestly. But that's just my own fault. But even besides that, like I said, I started making mashups, and then that just got me, I used the DJ by algorithm. I first started messing around with it on my phone, and then I found out they had a Mac version, and I got so pumped. And then I started making mashups on there, and then I just started DJing at home for myself, just for fun, just teaching myself. I just always just use little keyboard shortcuts, because like I mentioned previously, I don't use turntables, so people are probably wondering, well, how are you DJing if you're not just press and play? Like I said, I learned all the keyboard shortcuts, so that way I could set up cue points and hit my DJ tags. And then a couple years ago, I got this Novation Launchpad, which typically is used to make beats with like Ableton.
Mm-hmm.
I messed around with Ableton a little bit, but not really. I actually use Logic Pro, like Logic Pro 10 or X, whatever you want to call it. That's what I've always used to make my beats. And this Launchpad, I didn't use it for like the first 2 years I got it because I just didn't. But the one day I had it plugged in, and I was in my studio, and all these lights popped up. And I pressed the one, and it played the song. I pressed again, and it stopped it. I'm like, it's literally the left deck and the right deck mirrored. It looks confusing with all the different colors, but I know what most of the buttons do.
Okay.
Like there's a couple of them that were already like preset, so like it'll start playing like a random beat. I'm like, what is that sound? I'm like, oh, because it'll like light up. It'll like blink when it's like on. So, but yeah, like I said, I plan on actually getting turntables this year.
Okay. Well, okay. So, how many events have you done as a DJ since you started? When did you start? Because I know you said you practiced at home first.
Right.
What is that first experience?
I first started like doing mashups and like DJing at home like around my senior year of high school. So if you would count that, it would be like 11 years I've been DJing. But I don't count that, only in the aspect of I'm counting when I first publicly DJ'd.
Yep.
Which the first place I ever DJ'd it's called Harry's Hideaway. It's over in Lima, Ohio. I actually I host beer pong and I DJ at the same time every Thursday now. I've been there on and off the last 10 years. I feel like a game show host. Like at table number 1, we have AOA the Shed versus OAO Monster.